Now, one of the things as leaders, as coaches, as people is those moments that matter. And as you go through your day at work or in life, there are moments that are significant. And, Darren, you and me could talk about it as moments that matter. And often these moments that matter as a leader is the one-on-ones or the coaching sessions that you have with a team member. So, Darren, I know, you've spoken a lot about setting it up right. How do we get the most out of these moments that matter? And I love the things that you talk about. So I'm going to ask you, how do we set it up?
Thanks, Andre. I think, moments that matter, and that is really a lot of times as leaders and just in our life, if you think about it, we don't have this never-ending movie that we remember. We remember moments, right? Remember these key things that we pull out as we go along. And it is how we create moments as a leader in a coaching context is by being intentional, by really being deliberate about the message that we want to deliver, making sure that we're prepared and that the setting is right, that we're doing it in the right time and right place. And this idea, kind of, as I know we both have used this idea that's driven both in our coaching context as well as the way we do our workshops and facilitation. But it really kind of solidified for me a couple of years ago in terms of language is when I got introduced to this idea of set and setting. And it's interesting in life how you go along and maybe you've always been doing something, but then when you get language around it, just helps you to be even more intentional about it. And often you might hear therapists talk about set and setting. I think it absolutely applies in the context as a leader coaching your team. And set is, are you prepared? That's the set. Are you prepared? Are they prepared? And then the setting is the time and the place. Is this the right time? Is the right place for the message, for the outcome of the session? So as an example, if you wanted to work on someone's communication skills, perhaps there's a Harvard Business Review article or a TED Talk, or maybe even a Leader Accelerate section that you want them to look at, go through on communication. And you have them review that so that when you have the session, you're both prepared. That's the set, right? We come in, we know the outcome. We both come in prepared. And then what's the right setting? So something like that may be in a meeting room, and maybe it's with a whiteboard or some paper that you can kind of sketch out some ideas, and maybe even in that case, have them practice something. So you want a bit of privacy. So that would be an example of set and setting. Or maybe going back, if you will, a couple of episodes when we talked about being a thinking partner, where you're going to be asking them some questions and kind of exploring some ideas, might be planting some seeds with them. Well, let's talk about this next time, or maybe give some thought to this. And the right setting for that might be going for a walk, often is going for a walk, right? Because instead of across the table, is that when you're beside somebody, it creates a different connection, right? It creates a different relationship. There's actually the mirror neurons, they fire in a different way. So you create a different kind of setting as you go. And so that really helps you to better achieve the outcome that you're driving for. And what you also then look at is when's not the right set and setting. Leaving a meeting and you're a little hot under the collar, maybe they're a little hot under the collar as you're walking down the hallway. That may not be the moment to give them that feedback, right? Because it may not go well. So it's really calibrating when is the right time, when is the right place to deliver that message that you want to deliver.
Yeah. I love that. I love the idea of being so intentional, because in my experience, Darren, a lot of these really moments that matter conversations that you're talking about happenstance. Both parties are unprepared and the setting's all wrong. The metaphor that came to mind as you were talking about it was cooking. As you know, I love cooking and I love entertaining. Set and setting, right? How prepared are you? Have you got all the ingredients? Have you set up to make sure that the cooking you're going to do is going to be on point? And the setting, is it sitting around watching TV, or are you going to sit around with the dinner table and candles, right? And those things make such a difference into those moments that matter. So that's my metaphor. So
yeah, it's really setting it up for success, and that's a great example.
Okay, set and setting. Be intentional. Sit down, think about the set and setting for the next moment that matters for you.
Absolutely. And our Leader Accelerate program, link below, can really help you to get the right set. It can be a really valuable resource for yourself and for your team member to prepare for that conversation so that you can, again, really make the most of the time and create the context for a given tool.
Great, Darren. Thanks for reminding us.